Hi guys, it's me. So I want to share with you just a quick tutorial on how to make your own journals. I love to make my own journals, especially this size. It works out really well. They're small, they're simple, and I hope that you make a ton of them. So this is what the journals look like. These are ones that I've already filled up. They're a really good size. I usually put 5 pages in, and I use heavy cardstock for these that I've done before. And this is actually going to be a new class, so I thought as a little bonus I would show you guys how to make a journal. So it's really fun. And then I have this one too, so you can do the covers however you want. It's just full of lots of stuff. And I use a ton of these journals. I probably have 20 of them. I used to teach in-person classes in art journaling. So I would always give my students one of these handmade journals, and they love them. It's a really good size to work in, especially if you're beginning or you're not sure about art journaling, so you don't get overwhelmed. This works out very well. So this is what it will look like. This one I did start working in, but this has watercolor paper in it, and I'm going to show you, I found a discovery. So you can do watercolor paper instead of the cardstock, but I'll show you both of the pages that I use to make my journals. But it's really easy, just 3 holes, and really simple to make, and it's a really good size, as I said. So let's move this aside and let's go over the supplies that you're going to need. So you're going to need paper that is 8.5 by 11. That's important because I don't like to measure because I'm not very good at it. So if you use this size paper, you can just get a bigger piece of watercolor paper as your cover, and you don't have to cut or measure a thing. So I discovered this on Amazon. I will have it linked in my favorite products. So if you go to my profile or in the description of this video, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see all the products that I'm going to be talking about. So this is Bright Creations. It's watercolor paper, cold press, and this is the size and the weight, and it works really well. It holds up to a lot of media, lots of layers, and it's really fun to use. So you can get that too, and you get 100 sheets, and it wasn't very expensive. Or you can also use cardstock too. Cardstock works really well if you're going to be drawing in this journal, or if you're going to do lots of layering, and you're going to add gesso, or even if you're going to use lots of acrylic paint. I have mostly only made the journals with cardstock, and I've been able to do all sorts of fun things with it. So this is my favorite brand. I'll have this link below. It's a really nice smooth paper, and it's bright white, but you can make this with any kind of paper you want. Just make sure that it's the 8.5 by 11 size just to make your life a little bit easier, and it will work out beautifully. I've even did some that are like mixed with different kinds of cardstock, and that worked out really well too. So we'll set that aside. So you're going to need that, and then you will also need a piece of Canson. I love Canson for my cover. It's kind of a heavier weight paper, and it's 9.5 by 12. So that's the important part. It just needs to be 9.5 by 12 so that everything looks neat and beautiful and like you cut it and you didn't. So we'll do that. So you'll need a piece of that for your cover, and then you're going to need wax linen thread, or you can use any thread. I like the wax linen thread because it's easy to manipulate, and you can knot it very easily, and it's easy to sew through your holes and that kind of thing. I get mine from Hobby Lobby when it's on sale, but it comes in a bunch of different colors, and it works out really well. So I'm going to use that. And then you're going to need some kind of creasing or folding tool. So I'm going to use this. This is a faux bone folder, but it works out really well. You can also use a spoon, even your paintbrush I've used, or even like scissors. The handles of your scissors work well too. So you'll need that. And then you just need something to make a hole. So I'm going to use this tool. It's a pokey tool, and it just has where you can go through layers of paper. But I have used a push pin before. That worked out pretty good. You can just use kind of whatever you can use to make a hole will work fine. So you'll need that. Even the clay pokey tools will work, and you can get those for super cheap. And then you'll need some paper clips to kind of keep things together. And I'm going to use this needle. This is a yarning needle, so it's not sharp on the edge, and it just has a nice big eye. Okay, and I stick it here, and this is my little sewing pouch for journals. So let's get out a piece of this paper, and I'm going to show you very quickly how to make this journal, hopefully. if I can stop talking. I'm such a talker sometimes. Okay, so you're just going to fold your paper over. Okay, so as many pages as you want. I usually do 5, and like I said, I love the size of these journals because they fill up so quick, and you can have themes, and it's really fun and easy, but you can add more pages if you want. I've never gone over 10, but you could try it. It might work out. And then you're just going to take your paper, and this is the inside. So this is the 8 by 5 by 11 pieces of paper, and you're just going to take it and you're going to fold it over to the edge. Make sure everything's lined up nice and straight, and I just kind of let my finger guide, and then you're going to press your thumb down like that, and grab my tool here, and then you'll go up and then you'll go down, and you have a nice crease and a nice fold just like that. So you'll do that as many times as you need to, depending on how big you want your journal to do. I have a little base that's already made, so that's what I'm going to use here. So I have my 5 sheets. Okay, and then I am just going to do my cover here. So this is the piece of the Canson XL paper, and we're just going to fold that over, and this will be my cover. Just like that. And I do sell these in my Etsy store, so if you are not into making them, you can absolutely get them from me. I love making them, and I use a ton of them, so I'm always making them. Okay, so we're going to just fold that in half just like that, nice and easy, and then you're just going to put everything together. Alrighty, and then you're going to use your paper clip, so you can center if you want. You're going to put your paper clips on. You can use clothespins for this. Whatever clips you want are totally fine. Just like that. Okay. And then we are going to make our holes. Now, I don't overthink this. I just make 3 holes. So I do maybe like an inch or 2 from the edges and then 1 in the center. And that's all I do. Quick, easy. Don't overthink it. So we're just going to take our pokey tool. Now I do this when you're putting this in, you want to get it on the spine of your book. So that can be a little bit tricky if you're starting out, but you're just going to kind of hold this at an angle. Okay. And you'll just kind of eyeball. So make sure that everything's nice and tight. And as you want it, your papers are stacked and they're reaching the fold, your crease. Okay. And then we're just going to stick it through. So I'm just going to eyeball the center. If you want, you can measure, but it doesn't really make a difference. And we're just going to stick it through. Okay. And it's almost on the spine. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing here. So we're going to go here and okay. And then we'll do one here. And if you don't get it on the spine, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. You won't be able to tell with this technique. So you're just going to make your holes just like that. Okay. And then you're going to take your wax linen thread, and I like to do about 3 lengths. Sometimes I just do 2.5 because I don't like to waste the linen thread. So you will need some scissors, which hopefully I have somewhere over here. I think I should have some. Always hiding. Okay. You know what I did? I organized my table, so I put it in this little container here. Normally they're in my other little containers. See what happens when I reorganize? Then I can't find things. So we're going to go ahead and trim that off just like that. And we are going to thread our needle. So there's just an eye here. We're going to press this flat, and I do love it because you can manipulate this thread a lot easier than regular thread. So it's very, very easy to thread things and get it through. So you're just going to put it right through the eye and pull it through. And then you just want a little tail just like that. And don't worry if your holes aren't perfect. Mine are not perfect because I'm doing this fast. So don't worry about that. You won't even be able to tell. So you're going to, I start out in the center. Okay, just like that. and then I'm going to leave a tail inside. Okay, you can even tape this down if you need to. Then I am going to go, so I go out the middle hole, then I'm on the outside, and then I'm going to go up on the top hole through all of my holes back inside. Okay, making sure to keep this little guy here, my little tail, and then I'm going to skip over this middle hole and go to the bottom hole, just like that. Okay, making sure to keep that tail. Now if you look here, this tail is on this side of my hole, so I'm going to try to bring it through this center hole, and I'm going to try to put it on the opposite side. Okay, if that doesn't work, it might take a couple tries. That's okay. So you're just going to take it and go through that center hole again. You can kind of peek, and I did do it this right this time. So we're just going to pull that through just like that and bring it through, and that's just going to give you a really nice knot, so it will be captured too. So not only will it have a knot, but it will absolutely capture this center stitch that you have here. You're just going to take it and you'll do just a double knot. So we'll do 1, pull nice and tight, and 2. Now if you wanted to, you could do this the opposite way, so you could start from the back and go in through and do the same thing that I did. Then you'll have these little tails on the back, and you can do some beading and stuff like that. So it's up to you. Whatever you want to do is just fine. Okay, and then you can trim these too, just like that, and then you can take off your paper clips, and you have a journal that is put together very, very nicely, easily. You can do lots of fun stuff on these pages, lots of layering. And if you have seeping, sometimes I'm a little heavy-handed with my paints. You can also absolutely put like a piece of masking tape or a piece of paper here, and then just gesso over it or paint over it, and you will not be able to tell if you're doing like heavy paint, which I've done before. I wonder if I have any on here that I can show you where I've done that. Let's see here. Yeah, so like here I just added just a little bit of tape, but I mostly don't do that because I don't really care if it steeps through, but you can do that. I think there's one in here. Oh yeah, this one. So this one I added some masking tape on because I was going to do lots of layers, but you can hardly tell. It really blends in when you paint it. But if you're worried about seepage, then you can put down a piece of masking tape too, and that helps a little bit. So I really hope that you enjoyed this quick tutorial. I will have the links to all the supplies either in my profile or in the description of this video. So if you're on YouTube. So I really hope that you make tons of these journals. They're so much fun and so easy to make. And I also hope that you'll join me because I have a new art journaling class. It's kind of back to basics. We're going to start with very simple techniques. And I'm going to show you how to fill up one of these journals in the first, like the first kind of, what do you call that? Like the first class of a series of classes. So I hope you join me for that. But if not, I would love to see your journals. Tag me if you make one so I can share it. And happy creating. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions. I will definitely be in the comments. And I will see you guys later. Happy creating. Bye bye.